the Christmas this year. You don't need no big set of money to spend a Christmas and be happy.
Good morning, guys, and welcome back to the Now Morning Show, where the Children's Authority joins us for another informative conversation in our spotlight.
This is just a friendly suggestion.
This morning inside your spotlight, we focus on grooming risks during the holidays. This morning I welcome psychologist of the Regional Case Management Unit at the Children's Authority, Alyssa-Ann Wanliss. Good morning, Alyssa-Ann.
Good morning.
Welcome back to the Now Morning Show.
Thank you.
How are you this morning?
I'm doing well, thank you. And you?
So far, so good, you know.
Good.
So far, so good. But let's get into the conversation and help us to understand what grooming actually is and why parents may not fully recognize the warning signs.
Yeah, and we're so happy at the authority to be here this morning to be able to raise awareness, because grooming is such an important topic, especially during Christmas season. So firstly, grooming is a deliberate, gradual process that an individual uses to gain trust with a child, of course, in order to gain access to that child and eventually to cross some boundaries and exploit the child. So when we think about grooming, what we want parents to realize is that it doesn't look like danger at first.
Right.
It starts off as kindness, you know, someone showing special interest in the child, giving gifts, giving the child special attention, favors, and it's very friendly, you know, polite. The person is patient, and the person appears to be a good person, you know. And I think that we have been conditioned as a society to expect abuse to be sudden or frightening or aggressive. But grooming is quite the opposite. You know, the person takes time to get to know the child and even the family. So the person is not just seeking to gain the trust of the child, but even the parents, because when you gain the trust of a parent, you gain easier access to the child. So when we speak about grooming, it's really important to understand that it begins with trust. It begins with this person doing whatever it takes to gain that trust.
Now, Alyssa, we have a list of questions here, right? And I'm going to go completely off the script because you just make me have like a whole bunch of new questions.
Right.
Does that mean we don't trust people anymore?
That's
Around your children? Like, how do you, if you're saying that it starts off with kindness, these are the things, the qualities that we want to have around us. We want
Right.
somebody around us who is kind,
Yes.
who treats our children kindly, with respect. How do we differentiate somebody who is genuinely kind from somebody who is being kind for the sake of grooming? Because you say it's not sudden, right?
Yeah.
So it's 5 years down the road, I'm going to realize all this kindness you were showing us for this reason, but by that
Yes.
point it's too late. How do I identify? What is the red flag I'm looking for?
Yes, I'm really glad you raised that. So some of the warning signs that we look for, firstly, secrecy.
Okay.
So gifts are given, but it's given in secrecy. The parents are not involved. The child is being told, don't tell your parents I gave you this. Don't involve your parents. Keep this between us. So that's the first red flag. That is why we need to educate our children. Don't keep secrets.
Okay.
A safe person is not someone who wants you to keep a secret. If you're giving a gift, it should be in the open. Everyone should know that you received a gift. So that is one of the first red flags when it comes to grooming. We also see that individuals may show particular interest in a child, right? So they may want to spend extra time with a child one-on-one. They may seek opportunities or situations where they can pull away with the child, especially during the Christmas season. We know that there are many family gatherings, community events, lots happening with children, and these people take time to pull away the child. So they may begin to tell the child, let's do this alone. Come with me in this room. Come upstairs with me.
Okay.
You know, so we have to educate our children about safety during the season, that familiar people can be harmful. That is so important to emphasize, that not because someone is familiar means that they are safe. And based on our statistics and working with children at the authority, we see that, unfortunately, most persons who abuse children are known by the child. So that is why we really want to raise awareness. We want children to speak up. We want that parents would have a culture of open communication with children, that they know that they can speak up, speak about. Parents need to know who your child is speaking with, who is calling your child on the phone, who your child is texting, and that opens the conversation for online grooming as well that takes place, because during this Christmas season, children are home, school is closed, lots more time to spend online, screen time, and we know that there are predators online, predators who want to gain that trust of the child. And, Raucus, it starts with general conversations.
Right.
So this person, online groomer, may begin having a conversation with a child, posing as a child, posing as a teenager. It's online, so you don't know who you're speaking with. And the conversation begins with shared interests, jokes, very broad topics. And then it gradually shifts into more personal topics. And that is another red flag.
Right.
The person begins to ask you about your body, about your appearance. They may send a picture. Have you seen this before? They may share nude material, asking the child if they've ever been exposed to this, if they know about this, seeking to inform the child about certain things, commenting on the child's development, asking the child about their bodily changes. So all of these are red flags. And that is why we want parents and caregivers to understand that what grooming exactly is, that stranger danger is no longer the main danger, right?
Familiar danger too.
Correct.
So in all of this, right, we need to communicate with each other.
Yes.
Is what it boils down to. Communicate with them. At what age should we start having this conversation in terms of, is it just that you need the communication so that you as a parent understand what's happening, even if the child doesn't understand, or do you tell them why this is dangerous?
So first we want to raise the conversation regarding safety.
Right.
Right? From as young as 3 years old, you want to teach your child about safety, right? You want to teach your child how to communicate with you if they feel uncomfortable. So we know that for younger children, from age 3 to about 7, we want to speak to them very clearly in simple language, right? Don't keep secrets from mommy and daddy. Surprises are different. Yes, they're
Surprises
positive.
versus secrets.
Yes,
Yeah.
so when you teach them surprises versus secrets, secrets are not okay. And you want to teach them about their body. You want to teach them about their body parts. We always emphasize teaching children the correct names of their body parts. We know in our culture we use different words to describe bodily parts, but we want to emphasize that it's important to teach the child the correct name of the body parts, right? We want to also emphasize safe adults, teaching a child who you can trust, right?
But that going out the window, because you're saying that the grooming people might be somebody who the whole family trusts.
Right.
So I might tell you, you could trust this person, and you trust this person. Next thing, they're carrying you upstairs by yourself.
Right. So that's a good point, because we have to emphasize that we teach children the dangers, right?
Okay.
Don't be in a room by yourself with an older cousin or an uncle for extended periods of time. We want to teach them, if you feel uncomfortable, let us know.
Auntie, yeah? You say uncle.
And aunt, yes.
Okay, just checking.
Both, yes, you're correct.
Because it does go both ways,
Yes,
right?
it does, definitely. Okay. Great point. It goes both ways. So we want to teach them that. And of course, we have this culture where we force children to show affection.
Right.
Right? So we say, give auntie a hug, or give uncle a hug, or a kiss. But the child may feel uncomfortable, and that's okay. It's okay to tune in to the cues that the child is demonstrating and respect that. And it's okay to tell the child, if you don't feel comfortable engaging in certain behaviors or showing affection, it's okay to say no. It's okay to say you're not comfortable. And just really empowering the child to speak up, learn the importance of being open and not keeping secrets.
Now, a big part of that being open is the parents' reaction to this information.
Yes.
How should parents be reacting? Because, I mean, as a parent myself, if I see one of those red flags and it's somebody that I would have been trusting, we're going to have challenges, you know? And I'm not sure if the reaction would be as positive as it ought to be.
Yes.
But then the child trusts this person already too. And now I have to explain why I'm reacting the way that I'm reacting. But how should I react?
So, firstly, I know it's really difficult for any parent to discover that their child may be harmed in any way. So we want to emphasize to parents to stay calm, stay calm, as hard as it sounds.
Alyssa,
When you're speaking with the child, you can go off on a tangent with others
right.
and
Stay calm and
express
speaking to the
yourself.
child.
Yes.
Okay.
Because we don't want to re-traumatize the child, and you
Right.
don't want the child to shut down and not share with you in the future,
Right.
or
And
not open up about the topic.
Yeah.
So you want to emphasize to the child, thank you for telling me. You're not in any trouble. You did the right thing by being open about this situation.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the kind of things that we want to share when we're speaking with children. Of course, to totally avoid blaming them,
Right.
totally avoid buffing them or corporal punishment because they opened up about something that is distressing to you. So we just want to maintain that level of trust in the relationship, that open communication, and of course letting the child know that you will ensure that they are safe moving forward.
And how do you do that?
So many ways. So if we're speaking on disclosures, that a child, as you said, a child may have disclosed something that they have been through. So firstly, we want to ensure the child's immediate safety.
Right.
So they may have disclosed the perpetrator, what we call the person who inflicted the harm.
Right.
So we want to ensure that the child no longer has access to that person.
Or that person have access to the child?
Yes. So we want to ensure that there's a safety plan in place to ensure the safety of the child, as well as if an investigation has to take place, that the parents, caregivers report it to the authority, where we can do our investigations and, of course, ensure that the whole family unit, the child is safe and the family is receiving the necessary support.
So let me ask, if the child has not been actually harmed just yet, but some of those red flags that you
Yes.
brought up,
Yeah.
we noticed the red flags. So the child reports that, Uncle so-and-so or Auntie so-and-so has been taking me in the back and telling me
Yes.
that whatever we do in the back here is between me and them. So we have our secrets, and you realize, well, this is a problem. But nothing has actually happened. When you ask the child what the secrets are, it's nothing big. They're just playing hand games, like you mentioned, building that trust, right? But you see the red flag. So there's nothing to investigate. Do I report it? How do I treat with it as a parent? Stopping that person from having access to the child.
Well, firstly, you as the parent, you have all rights to ensure the safety of your child, and you have seen the red flags, right? It's glaring. So you, firstly, that's your responsibility to ensure that the child does not have that access, because we see that after grooming comes abuse. It's inevitable. So it's just the early stages, right? They're gaining trust to get access to eventually inflict some sort of harm. In most cases, it's sexual abuse, unfortunately. So as the parent, if a child is raising these red flags and raising these concerns, letting you know that the topics being discussed are inappropriate, the person is emphasizing that it should be kept secret, the person is forceful, because sometimes there is some level of aggression in the communication. Yes. And frequent gift giving lots of gifts, very expensive gifts, especially with teenagers. It's important to raise the conversation, because we know teenagers, right?
I was about to say the challenge with teenagers is they're also rebellious against the parents, so they may not be willing to have that open communication.
Yeah, and that is why it takes a village. It takes a village. So we want to educate not only parents, but we want to educate teachers, persons involved with teenagers, coaches, community members. They may be part of a youth group, church groups, religious organizations. So we want to educate everyone regarding child abuse and what to look for, grooming risk.
Alyssa, here's the challenge I'm facing right now, right? When you say that, you involve the community, but what if one of them people in the same community is one of the groomers?
Well, that's the thing. So everyone has to be, awareness is key, right? We want everybody to be aware of what grooming is. Right?
So we can all look out for
So
it
we
together.
can all look out for each other. And of course, it is the responsibility of the parent or whomever the child is in the care of to ensure that immediate safety. So supervision is key. Don't leave your children unsupervised, especially during this Christmas season. Your child is going by a family member. Children are spending time in different homes, different environments. Who is in that home. You know, we're partying in everybody's house this Christmas, right?
But you got to make sure you know what's going on.
Yes, you have to know who's coming into that house, who has access to that child. Speak to your children. Don't be in any rooms for long periods of time by yourself. These are the safe adults in this home. You know, stay in well-lit areas. Have codes, even for older children. You know, if you need help, I'm not there, you are in danger, message me. A code like, I need my charger. That means come get me now.
Something
you know,
like
so
that,
something like that. So,
So
have
work it out
codes,
and
work
communicate.
it out, yes.
All right, Alyssa-Ann, before we're out of time, but I just want you to look into that camera and give the nation a Christmas greeting.
Yes.
Safety greeting or just a general Christmas greeting, if you will.
Yes. Well, Trinidad and Tobago, we want to wish you, on behalf of the Children's Authority, a very Merry Christmas to you and your families. And we want to emphasize our message that child protection is everyone's business. So if you see something, say something. Let's ensure that children are kept safe during this Christmas season. And let's ensure that we, as a community and as a society, do everything it takes to prioritize our children's safety and well-being. Thank you.
And thank you, Alyssa-Ann. We'll take a quick break and come back with more in our morning show. Stick around.